Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this is the second episode of Podcast Startup, and super excited because I have Kelly and Ivone, which we really refer to as Mama Mouse, here in the house. Guys, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. We're very excited to be here.
I'm like, just the fact that you're here, it's a win-win for me already. No matter what happens, I'm just pleased as punch. You guys are amazing family in this community. Obviously, a lot of people watching you. You're growing. Tell everybody a little bit who might watch you on the replay. What is Meyers and the Mouse, and why did you come up with that name?
Oh, wow.
It rhymed. It rhymed. That's really it. It was just like casual conversation, and I'm like, what about Meyers and the Mouse?
Yeah, we were just talking about it and saying, well, if we're going to do this YouTube thing, we better come up with a name. And we were shooting names at each other, just kind of talking about it. And the kids were talking about it. And I wish I could remember some of the funny ones the kids came up with.
I know, me too.
But we came up with Meyers and the Mouse, and everybody was like, that just kind of flows really nice. And it's kind of what we're about. And
it became a chat tagline, Meyers and the Mouse in the house. So
it's an excellent name. It's one you just never forget. It's like that. You just, the ones that you don't spend a lot of time.
Right. Absolutely.
All right, let me say hello to everybody in the chat. We've got Danny of Two Real Geeks. Hey, Danny. We got It's Joey's World. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Keith. Hello, Joey. We got James Ryan. Good to see you, sir. And we have got Pearl Manhattan. Good to see you, Pearl. And we have, and it just jumped on me. Go back. Pam's fam. Good to see you, Pam. Lori French. Welcome here. Russ Stapleton. Good to have you here, my friend. T-Town Mary Ellen. Always a pleasure to have you here. And we have the Mickey Bunch. Hey, Kelly. Good to have you here.
Hi, Kelly.
You guys got something going there, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, so let me just kind of explain what this is. I've explained it in the past a little bit. Hey, Marguerite Nagy, nice to have you here. So I used to do a lot of podcasting, and I have to say, as I was telling Kelly and Ivone before the show, I really love podcasting. It's something it's an art that I worked on. I enjoy the art of capturing a story, of editing and creating something that's interesting. The thing about podcasts is you're totally relying on audio. You don't have any video to look at, so that you're leaving something to the imagination. And what I do is I try to find people that I know are interesting, and I want to find their story with them. We don't even know what's going to come out of this night. We're going to have this hour live stream. I'm going to ask some questions. You guys are going to ask some questions. And then in the end, I'm going to take it all and go to work and spend about a month, because it takes a little time, trying to create a story around this. So in a month, or a little bit more than a month, we'll come back here on a Sunday night, and I will share part of that podcast and let people listen, and then they can download it from iTunes or get it at the website. So
awesome.
Are you ready?
I'm a little scared, but yeah.
Pressure. All right. And I think I missed a few people, might have hopped in. Big Disney fan. Hey, Keith, good to have you here. All right. And Rob Fuzz. Hey, good to see you, Rob.
You're Rob.
All right. And we realize we're up against other live streams at this time, but we appreciate you being here. So, all right, guys, I am going to start. Okay. So actually, before I start, so in the chat, I would like you to throw some questions to Kelly and Mama Mouse here. We want to get some questions from you guys. I have some prepared. I figured sometimes it takes me to get it rolling. I will do my best to catch those questions, but I'm going to start it off here. We're going to delve a little bit into your past. So, Ivone, I am going to start with you. I want you to tell me a little bit about your life before Kelly, BK before Kelly.
Well,
careful.
I know. I know. I don't know. I went to high school, and I was part of the marching band, the choir. I don't know what else, but I spent every summer at a music camp, and did not know till we had been married a year.
Yeah.
I think we had a year that we both were at the exact same band camp at the same time. So it was kind of fun because we were going through unpacking things. We had moved, and there was a VCR tape. Okay, come on. Just work with me, people. And I pulled it out, and he goes, "What is this?" And he looked at it. He goes, "I was there." I'm like, "No." We performed on the same stage at the same time, had absolutely no idea that either one of us existed. So, but I first became smitten over Kelly in high school because he actually had already graduated, but he was dating the captain of the drill team. And we had lunch the same period. And Kelly would have lunch with her every day. And I sat in the same spot every day. And Kelly would come walking in, and I'm just like, oh, he's so cute. So, and then we connected through a mutual acquaintance, had formally introduced us, and here we are.
How old were you when the connection was made?
The formal connection was made, I was 18.
So you were seniors?
I had just graduated. I was a very young graduate. I was probably the youngest in my class.
I was a professional firefighter at the time when she first saw me, and then I was straight out of high school. I became a professional firefighter. Literally 3 months out of high school, I had a firefighting job. And
is that why I thought you were hot?
Probably because sometimes I showed up in uniform.
She was attracted to danger.
That's it. Oh,
so yeah, we
yeah.
All right. So Kel, I'm jumping around here a little bit. I'm not going to have a contiguous story here. I know you're in the military. I don't know which branch or other a lot of details, but tell us a little bit about why did you join the military, what happened, and what would you tell others considering?
I grew up watching John Wayne movies, the Green Berets, all those type of movies, and it always intrigued me greatly to serve and things like that. And so I'd always had a feeling I wanted to serve and help people. And I was going through a difficult breakup with a girlfriend, and I was like, I'm just gonna get it. It wasn't her. And I'm like, I hadn't even met her yet.
I know her name.
And so, no, you don't.
She had a ring.
No, that's not her. That was the other one. Here we go. Dean's gonna get me in trouble. So,
he was a little womanizer.
Anyway, I went through a bad breakup, and I just said, I'm just gonna go join the Army. And my friends were like,
"You joined the Army over a girl?"
What? Yes.
Wow.
So anyway, I go
serving your country.
I go and join the Army, and the recruiter says, "So when do you want to leave?" And I said, "Tomorrow." And he said, "I'll have you on the bus in a week." I said, "Okay." And I literally was gone. And
why did I not know this?
You never asked. So I joined the Army, and I knew I wanted to be a medic. I scored well enough on my initial test to actually pick anything I wanted to. So I chose medic. I had a calling to take care of people. I was already an EMT at the time because I'd been a professional firefighter, and I went away and joined the Army National Guard. I did my initial training. After my initial training, I came home and just started doing my normal weekend warrior kind of thing. And I joined the Army. I was a ground medic for the first 7 years of my career. I then had the opportunity to become a flight medic. I actually had to try out for that position. And about a year or two after I became a flight medic. I actually became in charge of the flight medics and was in charge of all the flight medics here in the state of Kansas for about 13 years. And before I left the flying, I really recommend everybody have the opportunity to serve if they can. If you can't serve in the military, I recommend people serve in like the Peace Corps or go overseas and do things, because we're kind of shielded here in the United States, where we have really no idea some of the struggles that go on in the world, and it gives you a good opportunity to see how others live and truly understand that we're truly blessed. We're truly blessed. You know, we're fearful of not having a good Wi-Fi signal. People are fearful of where they're going to get their next meal, where they're going to get water, or that a force is going to come in and take your family from you in the middle of the night. I mean, there's other things out there that are truly make us fearful. And I just don't think a lot of us see that. And the more people have the opportunity to see the struggles, I think the more they'll appreciate what this country provides for us.
Are you allowed to say like some of the more dicey areas, that you got to?
I wouldn't call them like extremely dicey. I don't
know, bullet holes in the aircraft. I'd consider that dicey.
I will say that I served in interesting places at interesting times. I spent a lot of my time in the Balkan region, but I was there during very hot times. It's eye-opening. I think some of my best accomplishments was that I came out of there with all my fingers and toes, but I also helped several soldiers live who may not have.
Yeah.
I think if we weren't there to do the job that we did. So
you were the medic.
The medic.
So you saw some loss of life?
I did. I was very fortunate that most of everything I dealt with ended up positive because of the fast reaction capabilities, the gunshot wounds that I dealt with, the explosions that I dealt with. I was able to keep under control. I had amazing crews that I worked with, that some of the best pilots probably that the Army had at the time, that I was fortunate and blessed to have. I actually had a couple of Vietnam veteran pilots as pilots, and they were magnificent.
Wow.
Which allowed us to get those patients where they needed to be when they needed to be there. And my job was to basically make sure they got there still breathing. So,
yeah, I want to concur with Lori French. Thank you for your service. It's something we all owe a great debt to you guys. Really do appreciate it.
It was my pleasure to serve. And I will tell you, I thank those as well that have served, and families, because it takes a family to serve. You can't, it's not just the soldier. It's not he or she. It's everyone in the family has to serve. I did 3 tours overseas for a total of 5 years away from my family. And during that time, I made her a single mom all of a sudden. Woke up the next day, I was gone, and she was a single mom.
Yeah.
So I really have a lot of respect for the military families and what they go through when our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines all have to serve, and it's very much appreciated.
Well, so you said you had multiple what do you call them when you're deployments? So somewhere in between there, you obviously must have become that fireman that I've found pretty hot, and not the there's a play on words.
So really, what happened was. I got out of, I actually started taking firefighter classes at the age of 12. My grandfather was a fire chief in the Kansas City area. My father was a lieutenant. My uncle was the chief of a very prominent fire department in Kansas City area for many, many years, and is still firefighting to this day. Wow. So I kind of grew up in a family of firefighters. Part of the reason why service was something that was very important to me, because I grew up with it. I knew the importance of it. And all of them had initially started as volunteer firefighters. When I got out of high school, there was a position open on a local fire department, and I put in for the position, and I won the job. So here I was, 18 years old, straight out of high school, 3 months, and was a professional firefighter.
Wow. Wow. All right.
So I did that for about 2 years, and then I joined the Army.
Okay. So that was, so basically, so Ivone, give us a little bit of the transition from noticing this fella into actually dating, and when did you get married, and how did that all happen?
I'm not going to get away from it, am I?
You just need to start with the
All right.
Start with the story, but then you got to tell them about the first date.
All right.
Because you can't let you out there. You want me to tell the story and then you tell the first date?
Which first date? Like the official first
The
date
official
at Worlds of Fun?
Yes.
Oh, that story. I don't care.
So how it started was the person that introduced us was actually an ex-boyfriend of hers. Said, if you ever need anything, Kelly's the guy that you need to go see if you need something. I'm going away to Air Force basic training. Get a hold of Kelly if you need anything. 2 months in, somebody comes knocking on my door, 5'2" on a good hair day. She says, he broke up with me. Crying. So come on in, let's sit down, let's talk. And we got to talking, and we got along really well.
Arsenio Hall.
We watched Arsenio Hall together that night, and we just got to talking, and she came back the next day, so I didn't scare her away, I guess. And that's kind of how we met. The friend came back from Air Force basic training and said, you're dating her? I actually got permission from you, though. But
We called and asked.
She said, do you mind if I date her? And he's like, no, go ahead. He came back and he wasn't happy about it.
Right. Well, we got married and he wasn't.
Well, that really didn't make him happy.
And then we had a kid.
But it sounds like we got it like fast married. We didn't.
No. We dated for 3 years before we got married.
So
But
we went on our first date after we had permission to date. And we go to Worlds of Fun.
To Worlds of Fun, which is an amusement park here in Kansas City.
Heard of it.
And we are standing in line for the Timberwolf. I remember this like it was yesterday.
Me too.
Please understand the person that I was just devastated over that had broke up with me, I have been dating him all the way through high school. So we were, and he was, I had my senior pictures taken with him. We were the most likely couple to get married out of high school. He was my high school crush. I got to be really careful of my words. Anyway, so, and his name was Shane. Now, this is not the person that introduced us. Okay, so let's know that.
That's correct.
But we were at Worlds of Fun, standing in line for the Timberwolf. I looked very lovingly into his eyes. Actually, he looked in my eye. Anyway,
I looked at her and I said,
I love you.
Wow.
And I looked back at him and I looked at him square in the face and said, I love you too, Shane.
Oh.
And then I started laughing and I couldn't stop laughing. I was like on the ground laughing so hard. I laughed like off and on the entire rest of the day. And let me tell you, apologizing, there is not enough words to apologize for that moment.
Oh my. I have to put my face on camera here for a bit. Okay.
I was like, what?
Who does that?
What a great moment right there, right?
The first time he tells me he loves me, and I love you too, Shane.
So I will tell you, this is how our life has always been. I took her to a very prominent restaurant in Kansas City
to propose.
It's a rotating restaurant on top of Hyatt Regency.
Yeah, Hyatt Regency.
Downtown Kansas City. You sit and the whole restaurant rotates slowly. It's a full view of the beautiful Kansas City. And I take her up there and we're with another couple of ours that was our best man and our bridesmaid for the wedding. Mm-hmm. And we're sitting there and I get ready to propose to her. And right before I do, she reaches across the table, knocks over the salt shaker.
So what do you do when you knock over the salt shaker?
I don't know. What do? You lift it
up. Pick up the salt shaker, you put salt in your hand and you throw it over your shoulder.
Oh, I have heard that.
Right? Yeah. Right? Okay.
Not my wife. She picks up the salt shaker, shakes some in her hand, and throws the salt shaker over her shoulder into the bar where the glasses for the wine and water glasses are stacked, and starts breaking dishes.
Oh.
Most memorable proposal night ever.
Oh man, that was
Yeah.
good. Too bad you didn't have that on. Yeah, it had gone viral.
Right?
Yeah.
We absolutely should have started vlogging our life from the first day we met because, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
So
let's move. So that was a very nice date and everything. Yvonne, tell us a little bit about the wedding day. What do you remember?
Oh my
Hopefully
God.
what
Did
they
someone
got.
talk to you about this already? Oh,
Am I really getting into the bad stuff?
it's just more of our life. Okay, well,
getting
let's
to the
start
wedding.
with the day before the wedding. Let's start with the rehearsal dinner. I had gone to pick up the groom's cake and my wedding dress, and I was driving to the chapel, and my car broke down.
Oh,
Pulled over on the side of the highway, and I'm walking along I-35 with my wedding dress draped on one arm and the groom's cake in the other, and I'm just walking because we didn't have cell phones then. So I'm just walking. Gonna walk to the chapel, and this lady pulls over, and I'm crying, and she's like, "Honey, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm gonna be late to my wedding rehearsal." And she put me in her car and drove me straight to the church. I get there, I'm very stressed. I just had been a day, and Kelly was in the military. Two of my other three groomsmen were in the same unit. Both of my ushers were in the same unit. And they all have pagers. That's back when pagers were a thing. We were on alert to deploy because of the flooding. And we were standing up there rehearsing our vows. And Kelly says, his pager goes off. And he says, "Oh, honey, don't worry about it. It's just mine. Bob's will go off if it's anything." He no more got that out of his mouth, and it was like a domino of all their pagers went off. And I got, I don't know, the look on my face, I'm sure was worth about $1 million.
It was.
And then I started to cry, and then they fessed up that it was a big fat joke.
no.
Yes.
Oh, that's terrible.
See what I live with? It was awful. I just knew my whole wedding was being ruined, and it was horrible. They were so mean.
Yeah. We had somebody at the armory sitting there paging every one of us on the phone.
It was awful.
Man.
So then the day of the wedding, the morning of the wedding, everybody's getting around. We're loading up the car. Shane pulls up in front of my house, and he goes, "You don't have to do this.
Oh.
Get in my car. Come on.
Oh.
You don't have to do this." I'm like, "No, dude, I can't." And he goes, "No, come on. I know you still love me. Get in my car." I'm like, "I can't. I'm sorry. I can't." And so he drove off. So you're welcome.
Oh, man.
I know.
Not
over yet.
She's not done.
Not done.
She's not done.
So, right. I know. So we get to the church, and it's like 100 gazillion degrees out, and the air conditioner went out in the church. We decided to do a balloon launch instead of throwing rice, and so all the balloons were already blown up, and they were in the foyer. And throughout the entire ceremony, they're popping.
Boom.
It's like gunshots going off. Gunshot wedding. So
Shotgun.
no, it was not. Oh yeah, shotgun. It was not. Anyway,
Russ, have you sold the movie rights yet?
and I know.
Yeah.
I know, right? Okay, so then I know I'm probably forgetting something.
Right before I go to walk down the aisle, my best man and one of my groomsmen come up behind me and they go, "Dude, the truck's running out back. You don't have to do this. Come on, we'll just go."
Well, he was paid by Shane.
I think so.
Right? It was interesting. Well, I was the first in the group of guys.
Oh yeah,
to get married.
I was breaking up the group.
Yeah, she was breaking up the band.
I was not. They were not. I was not a fan. Right, I was not a fan of them. Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway,
you also ruined poker night, but we won't go there.
You guys were stupid on poker night. Anyway, gosh darn it! Why do you get me off track? Oh, wedding. Okay. So everybody's there. There was a small confrontation with one of the family members that didn't like where they were sitting. And so they came into my dressing room as they're seating the mothers and starts yelling at me, full on, like yelling at me. You know, I don't want to sit there. I'm supposed to sit. Da, da, da. Anyway, so I got very tearful. I mean, I just like all the anxiety, everything. I just started crying. And so my dad stepped in and they had some words walking down the aisle. And the preacher stepped in between them and said, okay, we're done. Everybody just go sit. And they continue seating the parents and the grandparents. And I'm standing at the end of the
walkway.
Yeah, that thing. The aisle, into the aisle. And I'm just like, I'm bawling. I'm just crying. And we walk all the way up. I walk up to the altar. And they had to stop the wedding. Like the preacher stopped the wedding. And he goes around the pulpit and he grabs the box of tissue and just starts, and he shoves them in my bouquet of my flowers. And he's like, okay, are you okay now? I'm like, I'm okay. So
I had no idea any of this was going on. I thought she was happy to marry me or she was sad to marry me. I didn't know which it was.
She's so happy.
Yeah. Look how happy she's
so happy.
Oh, man.
But it, you know, and I can walk away. It was a great story. We laughed. But excuse me, I can walk away knowing that although it was received differently, the intentions were really good. I mean, I don't know. I just walk away with
received. Let's talk about the receiving line I got.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
We get married and we go out in the hallway of the church and everybody's supposed to go through and kind of have a receiving line as we were leaving the church. My father-in-law has 6 brothers. And as they came through the line, every one of them was, congratulations, if you hurt her, we'll kill you. The next one comes along, congratulations, we know where to hide bodies. The next one comes along, congratulations, every one of them. I'm just like, I don't think I want to do this anymore.
You should have gotten in that van.
I should have just, time to leave.
So have you seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding? That they had something like that in there where
I have. Yes, I have. I love that movie. I love that movie. Absolutely.
You guys, that is unbelievable.
It was crazy. The reception was beautiful until we went to leave. And then we get in the limo and we're driving away. And Kelly's best friend, our best man. Do you remember this? Yeah. Go ahead.
We get in, they close it up, they start to pull away, and we don't know what's going on. But the video person that was videotaping at the reception catches him running down the road going, no, please don't leave me, chasing
he chased the limo
all the way down the road.
All the way down the road.
Yelling.
He was joking, I assume.
Yes, he was.
He
was joking.
He was.
Yeah, the joke was on us when we got to the hotel room because they had
short sheeted the bed, filled it full of
rice,
macaroni.
Yep.
Heater was all the way up. It was so hot in the room that where they Vaseline the toilet seat and the doorknobs, it dried.
They saran wrapped the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
You guys. But
this is why we have such a great sense of humor, because if you can't laugh at this stuff, your life is horrible.
If you made it through that day, you are going to make anything. Wow. I agree with Pearl here. Pearl, thank you. So it's just this being willing to share that side of it that gives us all a little joy. All right.
So much about us.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
Wouldn't have had it any other way, though. It made it memorable.
It surely did.
Memorable.
It did. I know I sang to you at the reception.
Yes.
You did.
You
Yeah.
didn't like it?
No, it was lovely. He sang "You Lost That Love and Feeling." Have you seen?
Well, we did sing that, but we sang. What else did we sing? We sang "You Lost That Love and Feeling" because that's just what us guys did. That's how we picked up girls at the bar. Because Top Gun was big.
Don't you think at your wedding it's a little late to be picking up girls?
Well, they were still trying. So, but oh my gosh,
I can't
remember the other song now. I don't need
that song.
Lots of money. I can't remember the name of the song now, but
that's right.
It was a great song. A buddy of mine and I did it, and it actually was pretty good. So
it was really good, actually. Sorry, I don't remember.
Oh, well, there you go. That's a good memory. Welcome to a few people I didn't get to say hi to. I'm sure I missed a few, but Griswold family, Big K is here. I saw the Orlando guy. Good to have you here. Fisher, Fun Ventures. Thanks for joining us. And gosh, let me just make sure I say hello to everybody. Donna Fallen, good to have you here. All right, so guys, what I want to do, I've got more questions for
some kind of wonderful
these guys, but I want to see if I can get some of you in the chat to ask questions about their love and interest in Disney. Obviously, these are interesting times, and we're having to adjust to new world, but if anybody can, if you have a question for Kelly and Ivone, just post it in the chat, and I want it to be about Disney, and I don't want to say anything more than that because I don't want to ask the questions. But if it's a little delayed here, so let me see if I can.
Yes, and the song was Some Kind of Wonderful.
Yes, it was.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Someone in the chat referred to our wedding as the Hatfield and McCoys. Okay,
Yeah.
you need to know I'm a McCoy. He's a McCoy.
McCoys are actually my family.
What?
Yeah.
The Hatfields and McCoys.
I pointed to the screen. I'm like, look.
Part of my family lineage goes back to the actual McCoys.
That's hilarious. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Be careful. All right. Here we go.
What is your favorite resort?
What is your favorite resort? Both of you guys.
We have stayed at 2 different resorts.
That's it.
Right. And it's because we absolutely love Pop Century.
Yeah.
And we stayed at Riverside.
Which is beautiful.
Which is beautiful. It's quiet. It's wonderful. But Pop Century is really our speed. And we had fantastic customer service there.
We have never had a par experience at Pop Century. It has always been above and beyond.
Yes.
So we really just have really enjoyed it. It was our first Disney trip ever. We stayed at Pop Century. And so, and we had a magical experience for our daughters back then. And so this was, it just is our favorite. We still enjoy going there. It doesn't hurt that it's a value resort. It saves us money. It lets us do more at Disney, but it is just our favorite. Our first experiences there with the girls where they would come back. They had little bears. I bought bears for the girls every time I deployed. And there was a Kosovo bear and a Bosnia bear, and they had their bears with them at Disney. And we would come back from a day at Disney, and housekeeping staff had set up a whole little stage area with the bears, and they'd done the towels to make them look like animals and different things. They always did something for our girls every day when we were there. It was magical.
So cool.
Pop Century is my go-to, and now they have the Skyliner on it, and it just makes the vacation. It transforms it. It absolutely makes it amazing.
We're excited for our next trip down to stay there. So
that'll be awesome. So I think this is Lisa. If you could go to the parks right now, would you feel safe to go?
Yes. I think Disney is very much on top of understanding the importance of keeping the guests safe. They also understand the importance of keeping the cast members safe. Those two things go hand in hand. And so I truly believe that Disney has us in its best thoughts. It's very hard for them because they're really cutting down on things and things like that. So it's very difficult for them. Would I go right now? I think for personal health reasons, we have a son with a compromised airway. We probably would not, just because we have that situation in our family. If it was just Ivone and I, we probably would go.
Okay. Michelle or Garrett is asking, who is your favorite Disney couple? And I'm assuming you probably know what she means by that. So,
well, I'm pretty partial to. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm pretty partial to Brandy and Dave. I'm kidding. I know what you mean. I've always thought that the way Minnie always looks at Mickey was amazing, and how Minnie always made Mickey sometimes feel just a little awkward. I think that reminds me of us quite a bit.
Ivone?
Who's your favorite couple? Yours is probably Belle and Beast.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Will.
Beauty and the Beast, duh. I mean, you're kind of a beastly person, and obviously.
Well, moving right along.
Next question, please.
When are you moving to the happiest place on earth?
You're like give it okay.
A time frame? Go ahead.
Okay. So the current plan is to move in March or April.
Wow.
We're already looking at houses.
Yep. Keeping an eye on jobs to transfer to. Yes. So hopefully we will be moving to the Disney area by March or April next year.
Well, that's awesome. Congrats. Russ asked a very good question. In fact, it was one of the ones I had prepared here. So where does your love of Disney come from, and what are your first memories of Disney?
I'm going to let you start with that because you have farther back memories than I do.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to get a drink. I'll be right back.
All right.
Nothing like being left in the spotlight.
You're on.
Right. I actually, as a child, my grandmother lived in California. So I went to Disneyland every summer. Oh. I go down and spend a month there, and Grandma and Grandpa would take me to Disneyland, to Knoxbury Farm, and to Magic Kingdom. Or not Magic Kingdom, Magic Mountain. And I don't remember a lot. I remember standing in line forever. And then the fireworks, the electrical parade is probably my most vivid memory of Disneyland. Now, we didn't go to Disney World until after Kelly's second deployment. And that was with the girls. And so we did a little countdown of, it wasn't so much when Daddy's coming home, because we weren't really sure on the exact date. But it was a little countdown calendar of the days until we go to Disney. And it was cute. I bought Disney stickers, and they put a sticker on each day of the calendar as we went through. But and then that trip probably is my most memorable. The first night that we were there. Oh, you went in?
Can I join?
Oh, okay.
So nice of you. She's so sweet.
You're welcome. I know. We went to Magic Kingdom for the first night, and we were standing by the popcorn cart over like towards the center of the castle, just past the entrance to Tomorrowland. Everybody know where that is? And we were standing there watching the fireworks, and at that time it was Wishes.
Yep.
And we literally, the girls are just like in awe. And it starts to get over, and Kelly and I look at each other, and we are both crying. We were so taken back by all the magic. It was fantastic.
It was my first trip to Disney.
Yes.
I had never been to Disney before. So here I am, 30 years old at Disney and going, okay, yeah, we'll go. We'll take the kids.
You're crying.
But I know that this kid will
Right.
be hooked.
I get it. I get that. And that's a great show for it. All right. We got a number of questions. So I'm going to go through them a little bit quicker now.
Sorry.
Richard asked, which of your girls would want a Disney wedding if you could pull that off?
Tara.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Is
Tara,
100%.
no doubt.
Okay.
Don't give her any ideas, please.
Shh. Have you priced this lately?
Yeah. Good question here. What is the thing you must do in each park?
Animal Kingdom, Avatar.
Hollywood Studios. Galaxy's Edge, of course.
Yes.
Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah.
When it's not broke.
Epcot,
Because
because it's different for us on this one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know.
For me, Mission Space.
Oh,
Most-
yeah.
Mission Space?
Oh, yeah. It's amazing.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Love
That's
that.
a first.
Mm.
That's a first.
There is nothing like the zero gravity weightless feeling. It's
I won't do that. I won't do
amazing.
that.
It's amazing.
I flew in helicopters for so long.
Oh,
I
that's
love that. I mean,
It was
that's a great feeling.
was great.
And Magic Kingdom.
Oh, that's a toughie. Mine Train.
oh yeah.
Mine Train. It'd have to be Mine
Pirates
Train.
for me.
Pirates.
Yeah.
Pirates is awesome.
I have to do Pirates.
Yes.
Avery asked monorail or Skyliner.
We've not gotten to ride the Skyliner yet.
Nope.
Wah,
We
wah.
were getting ready to get on it, and somebody called and said, "Hey, we're over here." And we looked over and like, "Oh, you're right there." We didn't get to get on it, so we would have spent time with your friends. And believe it or not, we have not got to ride the Skyliner yet.
Well,
So
just go back to your favorite resort and you will be right on it.
I
That's a
know that
plan.
will be something we will do. We do look forward to it.
Yes.
Avery, I'm going to skip that question about Shapix shoes because I think that one might take too long. More sunshine. Good to see you, Jim. Nice to have you here. Let me see if we've got any more questions. Oh, wow. It just jumped on me. Hold on. Pam's fam says, did he tell you he loved you then too? And you said, I love you too, Goofy?
Pretty much.
I get that joke.
It was awful. I mean, it was just awful.
It was. And we have one picture from that day. And I'm not kidding you. It's this big. And it's in
Yeah.
one of those little things that you hold
Little
up to the
viewfinder.
light to show.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
our first picture
That's
together.
our first picture together.
Here's a good one from Lisa. What's the one thing that you love, but your mate does not?
I don't know. This last trip, you kind of went all out.
Yeah.
No?
I enjoy Tower of Terror. It's not one of my first choice rides, but I will do it where she's like,
I'm a little
have you
more
ever tried
hesitant.
have you ever tried to put a cat in a toilet?
That's not true. I wrote it.
I
know,
want to get on it.
I'm same, I won't do Tower of Terror.
I'd run it again if I had to.
If I had to.
So, mine would probably be the Frozen sing along.
Oh, Kelly doesn't like that.
Not as much as I do.
I like it. I actually enjoy it. You know what I love the best about it? The air conditioning.
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
There is a certain cast member there that when he is there,
Oh,
I enjoy
Lord.
it greatly because he is
So
very good
amazing.
at improv and just throw stuff out there. And he's a little edgy sometimes.
His name is on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember.
I do enjoy watching it then.
All right. Citrus swirl or Dole Whip?
Dole Whip.
Okay. I'm a citrus swirl, by the way. Sorry, but
Okay.
I like that question. Whoops, wrong one. James asked, do you and the family drive or fly?
Yes.
Yes.
It depends on the situation.
Right.
If there's more of us going, we prefer to drive
Mm-hmm.
because it saves us so much money.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
literally, we can drive down for $150.
And how long does it take?
20 hours.
20.
We bought our car, like we bought our car to drive to Florida. Like when we bought it, we're like, okay, we're gonna get this car and it has to be really comfortable because we know we're gonna drive to Florida. And that summer we drove from Kansas to California, back to Kansas to Florida, back to Kansas in a month. Oh. So it was so yeah, we don't mind the drive at all. In fact, one trip we decided we were going to drive and we were in the car 24 hours later on our way.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. You have a lot of miles on that car.
We do, but it's a great travel car.
It's a fantastic car.
Nice. All right. I'm going to wrap these up because I do want to get back into some of the questions I had prepared, but I'm going to go through just a few more here. So let's zing through. Whoops. Pam Sam asks, why would you put a cat in the toilet? All right. Keith asks, what would you recommend for first timers? Because Keith hasn't been there yet. Like him, what's your first recommendation? And it can be anything, I think. It doesn't have to necessarily be a ride, but what's your advice?
Rope drop, Magic Kingdom, and go to the left.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do at the left? Pirates, obviously.
Pirates, but most people will go to the right.
Right.
If you go to the left, you have a better opportunity to catch some of those rides to the left on that side, quicker, faster, and it's not as crowded. It's a little more enjoyable.
That's a good.
You just enjoy yourself. I mean, I think the biggest mistake, in my opinion, for people that go to Disney is they get there, and if you ever get the chance to step back just for a minute from your vacation and just watch people, I mean, they're fun to watch because you see them and mom who came in at the beginning with the park, she had her hair done and her makeup all done. It's now 95 degrees outside. The mascara is running down her face. The hairs are crazy. She's got kids hanging all off of her. She's like, just eat the ice cream. You're going to like it. You know, it's funny to watch people and how they react. And so enjoy the vacation. Don't get crazy. Just enjoy it.
Yeah. I'm happy. My go-to park is Epcot. I'm happy just walking. It's just all I need to do there.
Yeah.
All right. These last two I'm gonna put together. Richard asks, popcorn Mickey bar, ice cream bar, or churro? And then Donna asks, what's your favorite snack? So why don't we just make it favorite snack?
Popcorn is great because it's if you want to go on a budget, popcorn's your friend. Get a popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
For me, the churro I had was a very bad churro
Churro.
experience. It was.
I would like to try a fresh churro sometime. I still want to give it that opportunity, but I do like the Mickey ice cream bars. They're just hard to eat.
I like the sandwiches, not the bars.
They're hard. Yeah, you got to let them melt a little bit.
Well, in Florida, it's about 30 seconds into unwrapping it, and then.
What is it? Welcome, Sherry. Good to have Sherry here. And I think I missed a few other people, but Sherry just got back from, I think, Branson, and has some videos out about that.
Nice.
Sherry.
Yeah.
You were
all right. Yeah. All right, guys. I have got some more questions here. Let's talk a little bit about family life. And, my question, and let me see, where did I leave this here? I'm going to start with you, Kelly. How did having kids change your life?
Well, I'm losing my hair. It's gray. I'm poor and I have no money. Wow. The moment that Tara was born, Tara's our firstborn, completely changed my life. To have someone so tiny wrap her little fingers around my hand and just at that moment, you really truly find out what unconditional love means. It was very special for me. And I knew that I was in trouble I knew I was in trouble, that this girl was going to say, "Daddy, can I have?" And I'm like, "Oh gosh, I'm going to have to get a better job or something," because it definitely was going to change my life. And it did. Truly did.
Yeah.
We had been married for 2 years before we had Tara. And so it was kind of we had the opportunity to get to know each other and gain that life of being a couple before we were parents. So I think that made the transition almost easier to go into parenthood.
Dad mode.
How about, all right, so Ivone, I'm going to ask you, because to me, you are Mama Mouse, and I don't mean that just because I didn't know how to pronounce your name properly, but you go on and I see you do the crafts and I see you go live often during the day, and you have a group of people that I think look up to you as a mom figure. And so what do you like to tell this younger generation? What advice for kids that are moving into adulthood, as your daughters are really just in their early 20s, right? So
be true to you, I guess, would be the one thing that I would really stress. If you are true to yourself, you'll stay on the right path of life as long as you're doing things because you know they're right, regardless of what everybody else is doing. I think that you'll go far. You'll stay motivated. You'll keep moving. Gosh, I mean, I don't know how to
find successes.
What?
Find successes.
Find successes. Yes. Yes. I'm sorry. That was like the most intense question.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Well, you were you got some intense questions with Kenzie earlier. I thought I would just keep following.
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. She's such an amazing young lady, and if I could clone her a bajillion times to make up that generation, she's exactly what I would want to clone.
Yeah,
she's very, very, and I guess our girls are kind of the same way, very mature for their own
work
age.
Ethics. Our daughters, we're very blessed. We really are.
Have their heads on straight, make good decisions.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I will just say, from my perspective of, I remember the first time you Kelly, I think you reached out about getting on the live place, and I don't remember all the details, but I remember the first time you went live, you were at a hospital, I believe. Weren't you outside the hospital?
Oh yes, we were.
And you were streaming for, I don't know if that was your first time, but it was early in your live streaming.
It was.
And you were going through a difficult thing, but you felt, I thought, man, this guy has this sense of, or couple has this obligation, or they felt it, to go live. And I thought, man, it was so transparent. What do you want to share about that?
We had set our dates and times that we wanted to stream.
We made a commitment.
And we got notified that we needed to go to the hospital because Dad?
I think it was Dad.
Dad had to have surgery where he had they were going to take a portion of his lung. And because we were there for the surgery that morning, we were getting ready to have to live stream. The surgery took much longer than it was supposed to, which was always scary when that happens. And the doctor came out and said surgery went great, but we had to take the entire lung, which is a life-changing event. And so we had really just gotten that news, spent some time with the family, and literally right after we went outside of the hospital, found a place that we could live stream because we committed that we would be there. We told Dean we'd be there. We told our viewers that we would be there on that day at that time. And so we went ahead and we streamed and we shared with everybody, said, guys, it's going to be a short stream. We just got some pretty rough news, and we have a long recovery ahead of us here, but we're going to appreciate your thoughts and prayers, and which prayers work.
I think we've figured out we don't live, and I don't know, maybe this isn't the way you're supposed to do it, but we don't live our life around YouTube. We bring YouTube along with our life.
Yeah.
So, there's been times we've streamed from
The car.
the car. People love our road trips. God bless you guys. I don't know how you do it, but they love the road trips. But we stream from Branson on a class field trip. We've streamed from, and we didn't show any of the kids or anything. We just did a quick because we were supposed to stream. We've done at a music competition. Taylor was in a music competition, so we were supposed to stream, so we streamed there. We streamed from the hospital. We just take you guys with us, so that we can really try to meet that obligation. I know we've missed a few, but they have been
few and far between in 18 months.
And for something major would have come up. So road trips are gold.
Road trips are gold. We have a lot of fun on the road trips, and we were talking earlier that one of our best live streams that we ever did was a evacuation from Florida from the hurricane when we were down there for the Beverly Challenge, and we had over 1,000 views on us driving home from Florida.
Yeah.
And a little plug, Kelly and Ivone have put out a couple other videos that, like the one on the Vizio, has gotten over 100,000 hits. And so
113,000.
That's huge.
It was, and it was great. We really enjoyed, it was just a quick, hey, look, we figured out something. Let's share it with everybody. And it just blew up. It was the right time, the right moment with the right information.
That was awesome. Well, speaking of videos, and I'm going to cover two more things, and I really appreciate you guys being here. And I just want to say, too, I really remember that first day you went live with the hospital, and I remember you were outside. I remember it was windy. I remember I remember a lot about it. And I remember telling my brother, because he usually bounce off, we talk about what's going on and stuff, and I said, these guys had every reason to cancel. I'm so impressed that you were that transparent. You were willing to go live. You could tell you were dealing with this situation. It was a very difficult situation, and it just I felt a kindred spirit to you. Well, I hope I would do the same someday and fight through it. So
thank you.
I was impressed.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. Can't stop the feeling. So when I saw that, I have to say, I had never seen the original one, and so I didn't know anything about it. I am the least pop culture person you've ever met in your life. I know who Justin Timberlake is, but I didn't see that video. And then I was recently showing my daughter your video. I said, look at this creativity. And she says, oh yeah, that's Justin Timberlake. And I go, oh, really? There's another one? And I looked and I said, oh yeah, that one's got over 1 million views. She says, Dad, look at that. Oh, 1 billion views.
Yeah, it was 1 billion.
Anyway, I love that video. Talk about both of you. What was involved? Why did you do it? I know it was huge.
Well, we did it in a response to a dance challenge by It's Joey's World.
Yes.
And I know everybody in this community loves Joey. We exceptionally love Joey and Lisa and Keith. So we wanted to really give tribute to them and really make sure that we pulled it off and did a good job. And it was really cool that we could pull a lot of the community into that video, and we could all show Joey the love and the support that we have for him and Lisa and Keith.
Sometimes my brain sees things bigger than it probably should when I go, oh, I got a great idea. We could have went in the living room and stood up off the couch and went, there you go, Joey. We said, we are going to do this and we're going to do it right.
We do it the Meyers style.
And so we called a few of our friends and said, need a favor. Can you dance for 15 seconds? And they're like, what?
But everybody was like, yeah. We told them why. They're like, oh, absolutely.
All in.
I mean, all in. No one
second
batted an eye. When they knew it was for Joey, that was it. They were there.
So I might be very partial, But when I saw your video first, and then I went and watched the Justin Timberlake one, I loved yours more because
Oh dear.
because it was this community, and it was just so real. The other one was great, no doubt about it. It was great, but I loved it. And how many? Can you even guess how many hours it took to put that whole thing together?
I think we kind of put it up somewhere. I think we had like 18 or 20 hours of
It was
editing.
The editing.
And we spent about 8 hours shooting video for it.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, okay.
So
Now,
that was-
Steve from Steve's World,
I think you spent 8 hours.
2
changing
hours
outfits.
changing outfits and filming for that video.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Great. All right. Now I do have a question for Kelly here first. Is, dude, where did you learn to act? I have to say, what do you call the salesman guy with the mustache? Who is he?
That is
that's
that is
the lawyer.
Sal Mouse. He is
Oh, yeah.
from Meyers and the Mouse. He's an attorney at law.
Sorry, attorney.
And we needed an attorney, and it needed to be cheesy. So I said, let's go find a cheesy attorney. I actually started acting in high school. I was fortunate enough to get a lead role. The first thing I auditioned for, it was Sakini of Tea House of the August Moon, and it was a phenomenal show. I had been doing backstage stuff and lighting and things like that in junior high and some of my sophomore year. But I got that lead role, and I fell in love with it. And so I was in Brighton Beach Memoirs. I had the lead role in Brighton Beach Memoirs in high school. I did a lot with Camelot and things like that. So I just really enjoyed getting able to put on another character, and developing a character is a lot of fun for me because I am a goofball at heart, and I will. Some of my favorite characters were I was a sandwich delivery guy in a musical called 1940s Radio Hour, and I made that one of the most memorable characters out of a cast of 20. And I was just a side character guy, but it was just a funny body mechanics. I'm a very big fan of actors like Tim Conway. Yeah, the physical humor. So, and I just really have not had a lot of opportunity to go there before. So,
so when Kenzie did the Shrek thing, did you tell her you could do Donkey really good, or did she come to you and you figured it out?
I auditioned.
Oh, you auditioned.
Mm-hmm. Everyone auditioned for their parts.
Wow.
I actually wanted that part. I wanted it, and Kinsey goes, I have ideas of people who can do parts, and I went in and I auditioned. She said that you're Donkey. That's all there is to it. So yeah, that was a great time. I really enjoyed that. Yeah,
I'm going to put Russ Stapleton's thing up here, and I'm going to transition over to Ivone here a bit. And my question was so first I'll read Russ's, which I'd like to know when Mama Mouse will be opening her new house paintings business. She is an expert at hallways.
No.
I would like to add a little bit to that and say, I just sense that closeness with this group you sort of kickstarted, Ivone. I think you're just kind of the mama figure of this group of people, your crafts, everything. Tell us what this community has meant to you, and that you probably never saw coming until the last year of your life.
No, I was that mom that kept telling Taylor, those people on the other on the end of that computer, they're not your friends. They might be some creeps behind a camera. Don't call them your friends. Yeah, I was that mom. And then we started our YouTube channel. And I would say that the friends that I have on YouTube now, I'm probably the closest with. Um, everyone's just been so supportive and so receiving. I really like the way that the Disney community supports each other and lifts each other up. I really try to give, people that are having that down day, I really try to give them that little bit of that up. I like to say positive things. I like to keep people on track. One of my dream jobs was to be a motivational speaker, which I did for a little while, but
And you were very good at it.
I hope so.
You were.
I think so.
Yep.
But I love being called mama, because I'm the fixer. I'm the caretaker. I have subscribers that, I have one that messaged me the other day and said, Mama, my boyfriend broke up with me. My life is devastated. What do I do? And so I spent, 2 hours texting back and forth. And I'm like, girl, it's one boy in a whole sea of fish. It's okay. We just had this big conversation, and I said, you know what, honey, I'll check on you tomorrow. And I did. I checked on her and said, hey, baby girl, how you doing? I like to be here. I like to help people through some of those life challenges. Things can seem like devastating. And sometimes when you just talk to a friend or someone just listens, then life becomes a lot more manageable.
Yeah.
And that's kind of that's what I want to be anyway, to everyone. And I get that from them. I can be real. I'm 100% real. There is nothing, good Lord, y'all saw how I painted the hallway. It doesn't get any more real than that. But, and I have my bad days too. And I've had, a couple streams where I was just not having it. Yeah. And, my subscribers were lifting me up and offering me those positive words of encouragement. So I'm very grateful, very, very grateful for the YouTube community. I don't know where I would be without them. And I know people say that a lot, but I really don't. I don't know where I would be without them. They keep me going. Yeah. I really was feeling bad about streaming every day. I don't want to take away from other streamers. I don't want to take away from other people. I know when I was streaming every day, and these 5-hour streams, oh, good Lord. I don't even know how it happened. We just started talking, and next thing I knew, Kelly was coming home from work, and I'm like, holy cow, it's been 5 hours. But so I'm trying to find that happy medium between, being there for everybody and streaming, but then not taking over the world.
Yeah. Well,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And for what it's worth, I'm usually working, but every once in a while I will try to watch, and I don't comment as much on streams anymore, just because then I tend to get caught up with that, and I am supposed to be working. But
right.
Glad you do what you do, Ivone.
I think we've found that, and it's what's really special about this community, but the more good you put out, the more good you get back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the more you learn that, and the more you churn that, you find that good things happen. Good things happen.
Everybody in this community has something positive to offer. Everybody.
That's
Every
really
single person.
I really, and you don't feel it's a put on. You don't feel it's disingenuous. It feels very real, like people truly care about each other. And I'm going to actually, and thank you for staying a little bit over here, but I want to finish, Kelly, with something that you said. And we were talking about viral videos one night. You were nice enough to be on my show, and we've got a little challenge going, and you guys have said it's okay if we include Can't Stop the Feeling in there. And I know a few others are working on them now, as well as I am. But that said, Kelly, you said something, I should have wrote it down, but it was something to the effect of, I don't really care about a viral video that much, and I don't really care about my subscriber counts. What I care about, I already have, these friends. And I'm getting all choked up just saying it. Tell us a little bit about what this community has meant to you, and what you meant by those words.
Oh my gosh. it's hard to put into words sometimes, but the people in this community, we actually just talked about this on Saturday a little bit.
We did.
It's not necessarily what we are doing for you, but you have no idea as a viewer what you're doing for us. You provide us with more smiles and laughs than you can imagine. You brighten our day. We can start off and be having a rough morning and just like, this is day's not going very well. Hey, we go live in a little bit. Okay. And we sit down, and what we get back from the people in chat, from the viewers, it just changes your whole day. It makes it positive.
Yeah, y'all should see us before stream.
But the friends that I know I have made, I know you just talked about yours. I really have found family with Shep and Dave and Zip and Steve, and some of the other people. I don't want to leave anyone out, but I mean, I've really gotten really tight with those guys, and Josh from Triple P. We've all kind of bonded and probably spend more time together than we probably should. Just ask our wives. I mean, it's special. We've connected, and we would not have found that without YouTube. And so to me, I'm not worried about hitting 2,000 subscribers. Do we get excited over numbers? Absolutely. We still get excited over numbers, but I'm not looking at my phone every day going, what do we get? What do we get? What do we get?
It's not about the numbers.
Just earlier before the stream, Ivone said, hey, how many subscribers do we have? And I looked at her and went, I don't know. Let's look. We're happy with the community that we are a part of. We're happy with our subscriber base that we have now, simply because we know those people truly enjoy coming and watching what we do. They interact with us. They're part of our family. And that's what's important to me. And if I can change one person's day, or maybe even change one person's life, turn on the camera. Well, turn on that camera. That day was worth it.
Yep.
Yeah. And I just from me to you guys, thank you. You honestly have been, I mean, I put my hat in the arena with the live place, and you've been so supportive, and I just appreciate all your support. I appreciate the fact that you came on the stream tonight. You've always been good friends, and so thank you for coming on tonight, and I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Dean, for having us.
It's fantastic.
We're just proud to be a part of the live place. So thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. I will say, and I wanted to say hello to Dre. Good to have Dre in the house here. Okay. And what did Pearl said? Instead of poker night, Kelly now has Call of Duty night. Oh,
yeah, that's
right.
That's what I was thinking about.
Is Steve to blame on that one?
Yes.
I will not confirm nor deny that.
Yeah.
I've heard he's guilty of that. Well, anyway, and Steve is a good friend. I know I can tease him a little bit.
Oh, well, yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, for those who are watching this now or on the replay, we'll be putting together a podcast for my next episode. Oh, excuse me, of Podcast Startup. And so that'll take me a good month. It takes a lot of work. Probably going to take me between 10 to 20 hours. But it'll be a lot of fun. And so thank you again. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, everybody, for being in the chat. And we will see you next week. I don't even remember which show. I think I do my news show next week. So, and of course, catch Kelly and Ivone. It's your regular weekly show is on Saturdays at
1 o'clock Eastern.
1 o'clock Eastern. And then, of course, you go live at other times, and Mama Mouse is usually live most days, right?
I go live on Thursday afternoons. We go live with Diz Our Dream. We do a collab together.
Yes.
Yep.
And then Thursday night football with Still Whip Dad and Pete McDevitt.
Yes.
So we have a football show, and we're starting early this year. We're just hungry for football, so we are already out doing that with Pete's running that right now until the season starts, and then we'll start rotating our channels again.
Wednesdays I've got Preserving the Magic at 4 o'clock Central Time, and it's always a Disney themed craft or scrapbook.
And
thing.
the rest of the time between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. we're sleeping.
I think we have to get the Preserving the Magic. Do we have that on the live place? I don't know that we do.
I'm not sure. You might not. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll have to reach out with you. It's a thing.
Yeah, every Wednesday.
All right.
So.
Thanks, everybody. We'll call it a night. Good night. Oh, and there's Emily, LSU mom. Thanks for coming.
Hi, Emily.
Thanks, Rob Fuzz. Rob Fuzz is one of my partners. And so thanks, Rob. Thanks, everyone, for being here. And we will have yourself a good night.